dub poetry, political verse dubbed onto music tracks by dub poets like Muta Baruka.
And me one just a travel the land with me little butter pan. Them no understand. And it's just time, and them we see that is not me create this society and make it stink.
The language of authority in Jamaica is still standard English, but on the streets, Jamaican English is what they speak.
Me walk downtown and everyone frown at you.
And now, for some writers and poets, Jamaican English is also becoming an important literary medium. Pioneering this transition from speech to print, Professor Mervyn Morris is transcribing the work of dub poets like Mikey Smith.
When you dash with the spliff and you take up the sniff. Remember, yard is your mama found ground your sleep.
The language of dub poetry is usually Jamaican Creole. And it's Creole which relates fairly clearly, or it's fairly easy to relate to the kind of Creole which we'll find in pop stars, pop songs, people like, Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, and so on. And certainly as a writer and a reader and a listener and viewer listener to performances, one values greatly the Creole because it expresses things about Jamaican experience which are not available for expression in the same force in standard English.
Them come on, yeah, with them big white flag, them juke it in at the sun. Then them claim say them capture the whole of we little island. Them then proceed to kill off all the Arawak Indian. And now them want come try the same thing with the Iron Eye African. But we chanting slip. You fool. You never go to an African school.
Some intellectuals even see a future for Jamaican Creole as the language of official business. One linguist who wants to put street language on street signs is Dr. Hubert Devenish.
The message is very, very explicit, right? For example, the parking sign says you can park. And the no parking sign says no park between them sign here. The whole idea is to try to exercise gradual and perhaps moral and subtle pressure on this establishment to recognize the existence of another language variety and to give it the kind of rules and functions which it deserves in a society where it is the language of the mass of the population.
The poet Edward Brathwaite is a keen supporter of this Jamaican Creole. He's the chief spokesman for what he calls nation language.
Nation language is really the language of the nation, and we have used the term, at least I have started using the term, hoping that other people will be attracted to it, is because the word dialect has so many pejorative overtones. You know, dialect is supposed to be like a coon show. You laugh for dialect, it is broken English, whereas nation language, which is the word that the ancestral people have used, suggests the kind of authenticity which is now becoming part of our expression.
And me one just a travel the land with me little butter pan. Them no understand. And me one just a travel the land with me little dirty pan. Them no understand.
These are the immigrants on seaport quays at airports. Anywhere where there is ship or train, swift motor car or jet to travel faster than the breeze, you see them gathered. Why do they go? They do not know. Seeking a job, They settle for the very best the agent has to offer, jabbing a neighbor out of work for 4 bob less a week. What do they hope for? What find there these New World mariners, Columbus coursing cafes? What Cathay shores for them are gleaming golden? What magic keys they carry to unlock what gold in Dragon's door?
30 years later, the children of black immigrants from islands like Barbados, Trinidad, Jamaica, and St. Kitts have become a familiar part of Britain's inner cities. Displaced from the Caribbean, they keep its traditions alive. One dub poet whose work is published in Britain is the Jamaican Desmond Johnson.
Desmond Johnson is the name still. I was born in Jamaica, and I'm a very young person, which is quite nice. I'm a poet, a full-time poet, but most of all a publisher at this time.
His Akira Press prints the work of fellow dub poets. It gives writers like Johnson a substantial audience outside Jamaica. He sees their work as the beginnings of a new language.
Dub poetry is crucial to the continuance of this language. It's establishing it as a written force. We are actually spelling the words properly, trying our best to write it properly, construct it properly, and it's becoming a major, major force as literature and also as a way to show people that this language is viable, showing people that the language is brilliant, it's enjoyable, it's political, it's social, it's religious, it's everything. At Carnival, people let themselves free because remember the whole concept of nation language is freedom. I mean, when you go down to Carnival and see 100,000 black people, you say, yes, we are here, we're there. I'm not worried if I say, "What I'm being you are you know, come here, man, come here. Long time I don't see you know, put the rasta, John Noah, where the man there? You just let loose of yourself, meeting new friends. The freedom. People from Barbados or Trinidad still keep that indigenous, wonderfully sweet Barbadian and Trinidadian, Grenadian accent, or even Guyanese. But the young people, they all sound as if they are from Jamaica because of the powerful influence of the music and the language and the Jamaican language. It is the unifying one. It's the dominant one in Britain for the young black people.
But even in London, the dub poetry and reggae capital of the recording world, British blacks need to speak British English in shops, at work, and to talk to their white friends.
I don't know you.
There's only 2 tracks I really like on this. I've got those. I've got to get you with me tonight and
Me tonight.
Personality.
Yeah, but they make it sound the same, right? You know?
About sound the same. You don't really know your music down.
Here, the locals switch from Caribbean patois to South London Cockney.
In London here, a lot of black kids speak in Cockney, in Liverpool, Liverpudlian and Glaswegian, but they also can speak in nation language as well.
Yeah, then look, this